What if the quiet moments in your life are no longer empty but full? What if the things that once stress you now pass through you without shaking your inner world? Let me ask you something honestly. When life challenges you these days, do you still feel the same fear and urgency, or is there a calm part of you watching everything unfold? Many people believe spiritual awakening is dramatic, filled with visions, bliss, or constant happiness. But the highest stage of awakening is often silent. It comes so gently that many people do not realize they have already entered it. Think about a moment from your past when something small could ruin your entire day. A harsh word, a delay, a mistake. Your body would tighten, your thoughts would spiral, and your emotions would take control. Now notice how you respond today. The feeling may still arise, but it no longer owns you. You notice it, feel it, and then it fades. You are no longer trapped inside the reaction. You are aware of it. This shift alone shows deep inner change. Awakening does not remove emotions. It changes your relationship with them. You stop being the storm and become the space in which the storm passes. One of the strongest signs of reaching a higher level of awakening is a deep inner peace that does not depend on circumstances. This peace does not come from life being perfect. It exists even when things go wrong. Problems still happen. Loss still hurts. But something inside you stays steady. You may cry, feel sadness, or feel tired, yet beneath all of that there is a quiet sense of trust. You know you will be okay no matter what happens. Life no longer feels like it is attacking you. It feels like it is moving through you. You may notice that you no longer fight reality the way you used to. When plans fail, you adjust instead of collapsing. When people disappoint you, you understand instead of holding anger. This does not mean you allow disrespect or avoid boundaries. It means you stop wasting energy on resistance. You accept what is, and from that acceptance, wise action naturally comes. This kind of peace cannot be faked. It grows only through awareness. Another deep shift happens when the feeling of separation begins to dissolve. You no longer feel alone in the world the way you once did. Even in silence, even when you are physically alone, there is a sense of connection. You feel linked to life itself. When you look at other people, animals, or nature, something familiar looks back at you. Compassion arises naturally, not because you force it, but because you feel that others are not truly separate from you. You may find that competition no longer excites you. Comparing your life to others feels pointless and exhausting. Their success does not threaten you, and their struggles move your heart. You stop seeing life as a race. You start seeing it as a shared experience. This creates a deep sense of belonging that does not depend on approval or validation. At this stage, the ego slowly loses its control. The voice that once said you are not enough begins to fade. You no longer feel the same pressure to prove yourself. Goals may still exist, but they no longer come from fear or insecurity. You wake, create, and move forward because it feels natural, not because you are trying to fill an inner emptiness. You no longer chase happiness. You allow it. Desires change their shape. You want less, but what you want feels more meaningful. You enjoy things fully, but you do not cling to them. When something comes into your life, you appreciate it. When it leaves, you feel the loss, but you do not lose yourself. Your sense of worth no longer rises and falls with success, relationships, or outcomes. You feel complete even in uncertainty. Presence becomes your natural state. You are not constantly trapped in memories or worries. You still think about the future and reflect on the past, but your awareness stays rooted in now. You notice small details. The taste of food, the sound of wind, the pause between breaths. Life feels more real. Time feels slower, not because hours change, but because your attention is no longer scattered. You stop waiting for life to begin someday. You stop telling yourself that peace will come after something changes. You realize this moment is all you ever have, and somehow it is enough. Even ordinary moments carry a quiet richness. Nothing needs to be special for it to be meaningful. Love and compassion begin to flow without effort. You do not need people to behave a certain way to care about them. You do not feel the need to fix or change everyone. You listen more. You judge less. Your presence becomes calm and grounding. People may feel safe around you without knowing why. It is not because you have answers. It is because you are no longer resisting them or yourself. Joy at this level is not loud. It is steady and gentle. It is not excitement or pleasure chasing. It is contentment with what is. Even difficult experiences carry a sense of meaning. You trust that life is not against you. Challenges no longer feel like punishments. They feel like lessons shaping your awareness. You also begin to see suffering differently. Pain still exists. Loss still hurts. But you see that most suffering comes from mental resistance. It comes from fighting reality, clinging to identities, and attaching to outcomes. When you see this clearly, suffering loses much of its power. You feel emotions fully, but you do not drown in them. You observe thoughts without believing every story they tell. This creates a deep inner freedom. Life stops feeling like a constant struggle. You move through experiences with more grace. Even when things break your heart, something inside you remains untouched. You realize that pain passes, but awareness remains. One of the deepest realizations at this stage is knowing that you are not just your body or your thoughts. You still use them, but you no longer believe they define you. You experience yourself as the awareness watching everything happen. Thoughts come and go. Emotions rise and fall. Roles change. But something within you stays constant. This realization slowly dissolves a fear of death, not because you deny it, but because you sense that what you truly are is not limited to form. You live more freely. You speak more honestly. You stop shrinking yourself to fit expectations. You stop living from fear. If something inside you feels quiet and recognizing as you hear these words, that matters. Awakening at this level does not feel dramatic. It feels simple, grounded, and human. You still live your life. You still face challenges, but you meet them from a place of trust instead of panic. There is no final destination. There is no title or reward. Awakening deepens through surrender, honesty, and presence. If you notice that you are less reactive, more compassionate, and more accepting of the unknown, something real has already shifted inside you. The moment you stop chasing awakening is often the moment you realize how awake you already are. Awakening is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering what was always here beneath the noise. So pause for a moment and feel into your life, not with your thoughts, but with your awareness. Notice how you respond to challenges now. Notice how you treat yourself in difficult moments. The answers you find there are more honest than any label. This journey is not about perfection. It is about truth. And if these words resonate with you, trust that you are exactly where you need to be.